Good morning, folks, and welcome to Watching Watches once again. It's been a while. So the last video, I think it was the last video, was me showing you the Longines that I had bought. As you know, I think I mentioned it, I've reached a particular milestone in my work. I make smoking pipes, tobacco pipes, as I've mentioned before, and I recently hit the 1000 mark. I'm now up to pipe number 1012, but I'm in the middle of doing a limited series of pipes from 1000 to 1015, probably going to be, and the aim was to take a portion of the income from the sales of this limited edition series to go towards a watch to commemorate that milestone. And so I bought the Longines, but as beautiful as the Longines was, after sort of looking at it for a day or so, it just felt to me that it just didn't really ring any bells for me. It's a beautiful watch, but it was just too boring. There just wasn't anything going on. Like I say, it was a classical dress watch and perfect to wear with a tux or going to any kind of formal event, but I wanted a watch that I could actually wear all the time, a little bit more tool-like, but still I wanted something in between. So I was going for a Tag Heuer, an Aqua Racer 200, the current version, with the blue fume dial. It's a stunning watch. The dial has a very sort of jewel-like appearance. It's a really, really nice watch. In actual fact, let me see if I can get it on my other phone. Here it is. So this was the watch I was going for, and I actually had it brought from a multi-branch jewelers. So it was coming in from another sort of branch of a dealer, and they were having it sent to my local branch. And in order to do that, excuse me once again, sorry. So in order to do that, you have to pay a deposit to have the watch brought to your local branch, and then you go and see the watch and decide if you want it. You don't have to buy the watch, and you do get your deposit back, but you have to go at least, because they've taken the trouble of bringing the watch over, so you have to go and see it. So anyway, that was the watch I was going for. It's a tool-like watch. It's also a dress watch. It's dressy enough to use in a dress occasion. So it was really the perfect kind of watch. But then 2 days ago, my son, who's into watches, more higher-end watches, he's in, I think, approaching 30, and he's a businessman himself, and he's into higher-end watches. Anyway, one of his contacts sent him a picture of a watch, and he asked me if I was interested. And anyway, it's more than I was intending to spend, but it's a second-hand watch, but it comes full set, all paperwork and box. I'm not going to show you the box because the box is too big to get on here. I'll give you a quick glimpse of the outside of it, and you can see the brand. There's the box. It's a bit dusty, but it's IWC, the International Watch Company. So I've been looking at these watches. They specialize in pilot watches, and for me the pilot watch was really hit the mark, because you can wear it as a dress watch, but it's also tool-like. It has a timing device on it. You know, I often go for watches with a timing bezel, a diver's bezel, and for me that I use it very regularly for a variety of things, and so this really worked out for me, this watch. So here it is. This is the IWC Pilot. I'll have to find the model number. Hang on. All right, so it's the IWC IW371701 Pilot Watch. I can see some people call it a Spitfire. I don't know if that's a generic name or if that's just a nickname for the watch, but it's the 371701. And the watch itself is a 2010 watch. It has been recently serviced, and I love the sort of deep black of the dial. It's obviously a sapphire crystal, slightly domed, and so for me, although this is a dressy watch, it's not sort of a classic dress watch, but it's dressy. You can wear this in a dress sort of situation, but it's also a tool watch. You know, it's got the chronograph on there. It hasn't got the timing bezel, but in actual fact, I can time for up to 12 hours, I think, on this one. So I have much more ability in terms of a timing function. It's obviously a day date, and it's just a beautiful looking watch. But it really fits my particular preference in that I'm not looking for my watch to shout out at people, look at this fancy watch I've got. I much prefer a sort of more laid back, have that sort of classic look, but still be something else, something elevated. And I love the Pilot hands there, the handset, very readable at night. It's not going to give me a loom like the Seikos that I have. The Seikos are just, it's like almost wearing a torch on your wrist, but perfectly legible. I wore this last night, and you can read the time very, very well. What you actually get is, I'm surprised, but the numbers are not loomed. This arrow, big arrow at the top, and then the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock are loomed. That's what shows up at night, and obviously the handset. So the 12 o'clock sort of centralizes you, so you know where you are. Maybe these smaller ones also come up, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's easy to tell the time. Not sure what it says on the, obviously it says IWC in the middle, but it says something else on top and above and below the IWC on the crown. I don't know what it says there. The clasp, it originally comes with this clasp, but the person who bought it upgraded it, and believe it or not, so this is the regular buckle, just a standard buckle. It's obviously a nicer one. It's an IWC one. It's a machined sort of milled buckle, and it's sort of brushed but with glossy highlights, polished highlights. It's a very nice buckle, but look at that price, and that's just for the buckle, not as a folding clasp. £350 upgrade just for the buckle. I'll show you that. Obviously that's not an upgrade I had to pay for, but whoever first bought it. So that's the upgraded buckle, and rather than a standard buckle, it's like a belt buckle, it's a folding clasp with IWC Schaffhausen signed, and it's a very nice, very simple to adjust. You literally just pull it off and just fit it to the hole that you want. Very easy to adjust, and it just pushes home like that. It's very comfortable. And there it is. It's a 42 mil. Actually, to me, it wears a little bit less than that. I think the way the lug's draped down, and also you've got, because there's a little bit of a gap between the strap and the head, you know, that drapes down very nicely. It doesn't get caught on the body of the watch. So I haven't got very big wrists, and it actually looks very, very nice. It really does look good on my wrist there in terms of sizing. So overall, I'm very happy with it. You know, there's always a honeymoon period with anything, so we'll see how I feel. I'll wear it for a few days, and we'll see how I feel with it in terms of it being a long-term prospect. I think it's a very sellable watch, so if I wanted to, if for whatever reason I decided no, it's not for me, I don't think I'll have a problem. At least I'd like to think I wouldn't have a problem selling it and at least getting my money back, and possibly make a few pounds, although not really what I'm in it for. As I said, looking for a tool watch which is classy, and that's what I've got here. I believe that's what I've got here. The tag is a very different prospect. It's a much more showy, glitzy kind of watch, but still fitted my build because it's not too showy. That Fume dial is a little bit, but the fact that it's a brushed case, the central links are polished, but most of it is brushed. It has the diving bezel, so for me it would fit the bill. And maybe it's something, you know, I could look at in the future, who knows. But anyway, for now, this is what we have. Very, very happy with it, and it really does fit the bill in terms of the type of spec that I was looking for. So there we go. That's my IWC Pilot Watch. Perhaps at some point in the future I'll do a more in-depth study of the watch, but I'm not very technical in terms of getting into the real technicalities of watches. I'm much more of a enjoy the watch. I like what it looks like. The technical side of things, you know, that's kind of growing with me in terms of getting more familiar with the technical side of things, but that's really not what I'm about at this stage. At the moment, I'm just really sharing my enjoyment of the watches that I have, and perhaps the ones that I try and don't keep. And that's it. It's just my experience with the watches that I have. You know, I've put videos on of changing straps and things like that. And I think I'm going to be changing this strap as well, because I don't want it getting ruined if I wear it day to day, and I want to be able to wear the watch regularly. If I don't wear the watch regularly because it's too fancy, it kind of completely defeats the purpose. I want a watch that's a tool-like watch that I could wear all the time and not worry about it. So being that this strap and buckle are probably worth £500–600 together, if not more, I don't want it to get it wrecked, you know, washing your hands and stuff like that. The leather's going to ultimately get spoiled. So I have some other similar diameter watches, straps. I'm thinking of giving this one a go and seeing how that goes. I think it's 22 mil, so I might have to squeeze that in. Or I have also this one here, which is like a material. That one looks like it will squeeze in a bit easier maybe. I think that would look quite good with that. And I also have this one, which is, it's a silicone strap, but it's made to look like material, and the inside, no, it's not material, it needs cleaning. But this I think is a 21 mil. The blue's a little bit light on that, so no, I don't think so. I'm going to see if the leather one works, and we'll see the black leather. Alright folks, that's it for now. Thanks very much. Catch you on the next one.